right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And welcome to today's lesson in understanding. Um, I'll tell you what the lesson will be in a moment. But the product that is where I got the information from for this term's lesson is this product right here. Every liquid in every bottle and every ratio, which is why you have the liter to the milliliter written on the bottle, is physical information attached to the product. So everything that I have here, the binder just broke. I need a new binder, and I will get a new binder eventually. But every information that I have written in this note is connected to this perfume bottle right here. Kimberly Rosé Eau de Parfum. This is 75 milliliters to 2.5 ounces of information written on paper in regards to the actual product. So that's how I do my lessons. That's how I teach. And this year I'm gonna be smelling a whole lot like a lot of Kimberly Rosé. We're gonna be smelling a whole lot like lips. Okay, so let's get into the actual lesson. So we're gonna begin with the first schedule, and what I have here are I'm still too close. I'm still too close to the camera. So what I have here are these schedules, and this is basically a example set as to how I keep my scheduling and where I am working and who I am working with. And basically when I have completed the task, I write it down on paper here, and they take it in, and that's how I get my pay. So I only wrote it down here, but as my YouTube characters, I wrote down all of my stuff as my YouTube characters. I'm doing it a little bit differently this year, but last year I did it as all of my YouTube characters. So beginning with my YouTube character as Tati Westbrook, I was working with Sephora. I was teaching product application, and I was talking about the negativity and the inconsistency of what people say to directly try and disrespect the product, basically, in order to say this is why you shouldn't buy this product, or this is why you shouldn't trust this person who uses the product. But when you watch the Tati Westbrook platform, that's basically what I'm discussing. And yes, I've already been paid for that. The next job that I did was as Jacqueline Hill. I did a lot of Amazon recommendations. Those were all sponsored by Labatt Brewery, and he's currently upstairs right now. Labatt Brewery, he's currently upstairs getting ready to leave for the day. So I did a lot of Amazon recommendations, which are connected to the topic of break and enter into the home. And then I didn't do any application as Tati Westbrook when it came to makeup, but I did my current makeup routine in the form of in-depth as where I am, what am I doing right now, and what products are those attached to, in the form of working with Labatt Brewery. The next person that I worked as is Jackie Ina. I didn't do much here because she's a rediscovery for me because of plagiarism. So she is a rediscovery, and I'm working with, once again, Labatt Brewery in order to rediscover Jackie Aina. So I only did one topic of the Mood Forever Candles, which is stolen content in the form of plagiarism, based towards that of Jackie Aina. The next person that I worked as is Tina Fancy Face, a full face of makeup. Attached to the topic of the Ford F-150s driving up in my driveway, pretending to be my father, and then before I end up seeing them, I hear "Give your makeup to James Westbrook." So whenever you're watching Tina Fancy Face, it means I've seen you in those Ford F-150s coming up my driveway, coming up Will Clay Avenue. You're seeing that video is because I've seen you. Anything basically Tina Fancy Face. Anything Kathleen Lights, makeup artistry experience. Still dealing with plagiarism and stolen content in the matter of a lot of products, especially when it came to the Danessa Myricks aspect. So basically what this platform is when it comes to Kathleen Lights is we need your work. We don't want you to record anything. We don't want you to teach anything, because we want to hand in your work for yourselves in order to say that, well, I was stupid and I sold myself out, of which I'm not. And finally, I did most of my work as Juicy Jazz, because I kept hearing a lot of, "You hired us to do stuff." That's where the Juicy Jazz character comes in, is you hired us to do stuff for you. And I did a lot, and I mean a lot. I have a full record of pages of people telling me that I hired them to do stuff for me on the back here. And then I also have a record here of people telling me that I hired them in my home to do stuff for me. Now, I said earlier that I am recording this in a much different way, but it's still the same concept. It is still the same concept as to how I am recording what I do on a day-to-day basis. It is not this book. Where is the book? It is this book. I am recording in this book, and we'll touch base on this book very soon. I'm recording everything that I do day by day in writing, and everything has the date there in order to tell me where I've been, what I've been doing. By the way, also including the time frame that I completed the task. Not the time frame that I began, no, but the time frame that I completed the task will be included in here as well. And I've given myself an hour of each day to complete each task, beginning, by the way, at 8:37 a.m. so that I'm not impeding myself in anyone else's time frame when they are doing something for them to say that I hired them to do anything at all. So, you know, that's how I schedule my life, that's how I live, and that's what I do. So that's the first thing you need to do as a teacher, or even as student assistant teacher, is schedule what you do a lot. Schedule what you do, schedule everything you do, but don't live by my schedule, because my schedule and your schedule are not the same, because of the fact that I produce other characters and other topics out of my scheduling. You definitely cannot be living the same schedule that I do, because each hour of each schedule, each hour of each schedule that I live, if I can get all of these picked up, goes to each of these characters that I called out earlier. So right now it's what? It's 9:12 and I've been doing this since 8:32. Anywhere from 9:12 to 8:32, even though I begin at 8:37 a.m., would go to the character of Juicy Jess. Okay? 9:37 to 10:37 would go to the character of Kathleen Lights. 10:37 to 11:37 would go to the character of Tina Fancy Face. And yes, even through my lunch, which is my vlogging session, 12:37 to 1:37 goes to my character Jackie Aina. 1:37 to 2:37 goes to my character Jacqueline Hill. 2:37 to 3:37, which is the end of the day, goes towards my character as Tati Westbrook. So each time frame goes towards a different character, so that each platform has a different topic and different products to speak on, based off of the fact that there are so many products to complement each different hour of the day when you create and you become somebody different at each hour of the day, especially because you're teaching English, geography, math, science, music, the arts. That's 6 topics. That's 6 different people. So you can't have my schedule, because I'm not, by the time I'm done for today, I'm not Cherise Stewart until the end of the day. I start out as someone else at the beginning of 8:37. And at 3:37 is when I become Cherise Stewart, and I stay Cherise Stewart all the way through until 7:37 in the morning, because it takes about an hour for my body to flip so that I can become, based off of the topic that I'm speaking, one of my created characters. So with that being said, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Remember, do not plagiarize, because anything you plagiarize is not really shown, because you're watching it in my character form. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye.